Rated F for fucking awesome. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, TimothyTimPC, back here to talk to you about the PlayStation TV. And if it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Nice to see you. Got a lot of PSP videos you can go ahead and check out. I'm not going to bombard you with a bunch of links. You know how to use YouTube. And if you're one of my subscribers, welcome back, bitches. I mean, things are looking good. I'm going to blow up. I can feel it. My fingers are tingling. In all seriousness, the channel is about to hit 4,000 subs, and I think that's really cool. It's no Logan Paul stats, but it's still pretty nice. So would just like to say thank you to all my subscribers. You guys know how to subscribe. If you want to, go for it. If not, well, all right, I can handle it. I won't cry too much. But what I'm here to talk to you guys about is the PlayStation TV. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Tim, when are you going to start doing stuff with the PlayStation Vita? And the PlayStation TV is, in effect, the PlayStation Vita. They're the same thing, but the PlayStation Vita is equipped with an HDMI port where you can hook it up to the TV. Unlike the PSP's 2 and 3000 models, you can't just connect those handy-dandy component cables to the PlayStation Vita to get that TV out experience. So it was an interesting choice that Sony made. I elected to buy a brand new one. Firmware version is important when you're going to install the hack Hinkaku on a Vita or a PlayStation TV. Plenty of videos out there and tutorials to show you how to do that. If you're curious, I put a lot of trust in a YouTuber by the name of Tech James, so you can check him out. He's got a lot of in-depth tutorials and can help you getting your Vita or PlayStation TV hacked with Hinkaku and done safely to save your system. So also another thing I'm here to talk to you guys about is the Raspberry Pi. Now, I myself have a Raspberry Pi. I actually have a few of them in a couple of different cases. They make some pretty cool cases, and you can really emulate a lot of video game systems with the Raspberry Pi. As you see, it's not very big, not much longer than the PlayStation TV. Here, I'm going to bring out my PlayStation TV that I've done a custom skin on. This is the red skin that I came up with. And the two DualShock 3 controllers that work with the PlayStation TV over Bluetooth. Now, if you wanted to, you could use these controllers with the Raspberry Pi. But one thing that the Raspberry Pi cannot do is play Vita games. That's not happening. I haven't even tried, but I mean, there might be a Retroarch core out there that supports the Vita. There's got to be, but it's going to run like dog shit. It's not going to be good. So yeah. Another thing that the Raspberry Pi can't handle is PSP games. Can't play those. Now it can play PS1 games, but it doesn't play them as well as the PSP or the PlayStation Vita / TV can do. This I have set up running Adrenaline so that you can have that PS1 experience and just a whole lot of stuff on there. So while the Raspberry Pi is cool, and you can definitely do more with it than you can a PlayStation TV, say you want to set up some whatever you want to do, all these different computer projects that you can set up, a little FTP server or stream media, you know, install, you know, Pixel Desktop, all these cool things you can do with the Pi. But when it comes to gaming, I don't think so. The PlayStation TV is going to win every time. Now, one of the problems with the PlayStation TV when it came out is it suffers from the same issue that the fucking PSP Go suffered from. Expensive ass memory cards. The Vita, the same thing. Expensive memory cards. And it really hurt the system. Now you can put your store-bought games like a dinosaur into the system and play them that way, but who really wants to juggle game cards and carrying them around in your backpack like you're 13 years old? It's really not my style. And so with hacking with Hikaku, I have set up the SD to Vita adapter, and this one is running off of 200 gigs, plenty of space. And I am also working on a PlayStation Vita that will have 256 gigs. So you just open up the game card slot, pop it in there, and you're good to go. Now, the PlayStation TV also has a USB port, and you can use that for expanded storage if you want. But with 200 gigs, you are getting a lot of stuff. And the reason why I did not do that is because, as we know, DualShock 3 controllers, or if you didn't know this, they need a data connection to charge. So it's kind of important. So I wanted to leave that port free and keep the device looking as sleek as possible. Also, a cool note about the PlayStation TV, it uses the same charger that the PSP does. So, well, charger, power adapter. And so you could feasibly run the PlayStation TV right off of your TV's USB port. That's kind of cool if you used one of those USB PSP chargers that I give out with all my PSPs. All right, so all that information out of the way. I know you guys are really curious to see what the actual build looks like, so I've set up a TV. I'm going to point the camera at that TV and let you guys take a look at the operating system and how I've set up. I've done a lot of custom wallpapers myself and tried to bring the same experience that I did on the PSP over to the PlayStation Vita. And granted, I can't go as extreme with some of the audio and stuff, but I feel like this is, you know, it's a different take. I feel like it's more elegant. And anyways, I'm excited to show you. And so I don't want to waste any more time. I'll shut the camera down and get the tripod set up, and let's take a look. All right, guys, here we are booted in the main menu. I tried to make some wallpapers and stuff to kind of keep true to what I did with the PSP and those menus. One thing to note that I talked about earlier is that the PlayStation TV isn't like out of the box compatible with all PlayStation Vita games. So we've got a handy app right here, Whitelist, and we go ahead and launch that. And basically what that does is allow any game that's installed on here to be played on the PlayStation TV. So any Vita game is installable. So we'll start off with the first menu here. We've got Batman as a wallpapered theme. And I mean, these are all the games. Starting out with some pages of menus have folders. That's because the Vita only allows 10 of these pages, and then you have to supplement folders if you want to add more icons. And obviously with 200 gigs, you bet your ass we're going to be adding some folders. Okay, so action. We've got Resident Evil Revelations, Batman Origins, Assassin's Creed. We've also got Uncharted Golden Abyss and the other Uncharted game, which isn't all that good, but still it's on there. It's more like a card game. Metal Gear 2 and 3. These are games that obviously can be played on the PSP setup on this, but they look even better ported to the Vita. So I went with these versions instead because I really like them. Corpse Party Blood Drive and The Walking Dead. It's a good game. If you like the movies, it's even better. So Samurai Warriors, Silent Hill, Borderlands, Killzone Mercenary, Soul Sacrifice. Virtua Tennis is on there. I think if you're going to play a tennis game, I find that Virtua Tennis is actually pretty fun. I'm not very good at it. It's been a while since I've actually played. I've actually played it a lot on the Dreamcast. And I don't know, it's a really fun game. And so I threw that on. And of course, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, another fun superhero game on the Vita. Not one of the best, but it is a fun game. And the more you get the hang of it, the more fun it is. So second wallpaper, we've got the God of War here. Added some chains in the background with the shadow effects, tried to make it look nice. I also dimmed out the backgrounds because I didn't want them to be too visually kind of overwhelming. I feel like that came out good. So in the second page, and by the way, these are just roughly named. It's so hard to take certain games that kind of take a piece from different gaming genres and put them all in one game. You can't quite categorize them. So I did my best. Obviously, you can change around the names or change around icon placement just by pushing triangle. And you can sit here and move icons around, do, you know, whatever you want. So in Action 2, pardon me, I'm getting over a cold. We've got the Doctor Who game. Pretty fun. Another one of note, Never Ending Nightmares. Good game. Stranger's Wrath HD. Army Corps. Unit 13. We've got the God of War collection, which is another kind of port of the PSP games, but over to the PlayStation Vita, and it's just a really well done game. Also, Danganronpa is really fun. Unit 13 I like as well. So I tried to put this whole PlayStation TV is like a demonstration of everything the PlayStation Vita has to offer. I tried to not focus on a particular genre of games, and so that's why you're seeing a collection like this. All right, here we go down to 3D platformers with great games like Ratchet and Clank. We've got the first, the second, and the one for the Vita, Sly Cooper 1 and 2, and the Thievius Raccoonus, Rayman Origins and Legends, as well as Jet Set Radio and Epic Mickey. And in the folder here, we've got a couple more. This is like Abe's Odyssey game, and Ninja Gaiden Sigma is also on there too. Jumping down to RPGs. Now, there are a lot of awesome RPGs. Obviously, this wallpaper is dedicated to Persona game, Persona 4. I've got Dancing All Night and Persona 4 Golden on here. You see Time Travelers, The Last Blade 2, Final Fantasy X, and 2 in HD. Let's see what else. I haven't actually played these Final Fantasy games on here, but I know a lot of people. Oh, Adventures of Mana is also really good. Yeah, people say that these Final Fantasy games are really great on the Vita, so I'm looking forward to playing, X and X2. So, Dungeon Hunter, Phantasy Star Nova, the Ys games, Dragon's Crown, Valhalla Knights. And then also I took the opportunity to drop the puzzle games and some imports in here. Puzzle games are like, we've got Limbo and Tetris and Little Big Planet and Lumines and Machinarium. I can never say that right. And then also Gravity Rush is on there. Imports, obviously, the PlayStation Vita, if you don't know this, far more successful in Japan than it was here. So they got a lot more games. I didn't go crazy on imports because a lot of them are in Japanese. But one of the ones I had to have on there was Puyo Puyo Tetris. And that is a really fun game. And also we've got Dragon Quest Builders on here. These Dragon Quest Builders has DLC applied, and a lot of the games that you see on here have DLCs added. That content is part of the game. So not everything, some do, so some don't, but that'll be a surprise. You might not even notice that your game has more content, but it just will. All right. Coming down here too, fighting games. I went with the Street Fighter Cross Tekken wallpaper. Ryu ready to kick some ass. Marvel vs. Capcom, Mortal Kombat game, Dragon Ball, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and the Injustice game, the superhero fighting game, which it's pretty fun to play on the PlayStation Vita. I really enjoy that port and actually spent a lot of time testing out, the controllers and getting things right. Playing Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Injustice. This Injustice is new to me, so it was fun kind of getting to know a game and making sure everything worked properly. So let's see what's next. Oh, old school. Now, another thing that the PlayStation Vita has a lot of is games that are modeled kind of after an old school pixel style game like Shovel Knight. There's a whole lot of really good ones on there, and I tried to give a good selection of those. Another great thing about these games is that they don't take up a lot of space, so I could fit more of them, so I figured more games is better. So go for games like, obviously you can get Super Meat Boy on multiple platforms, but it's pretty fun to play on the PlayStation TV, especially with a controller in hand versus maybe playing it on a cell phone or something, or on a larger console. I'm trying to think what other portables that Super Meat Boy is out there for. I know it's available on the Switch now, but yeah, I'm not sure about other portable consoles. And since you can take this memory card and put it in a PlayStation Vita, all these games become portable if you wanted them to, as long as your Vita already has a custom firmware installed. So Metal Slug 3, because it's Metal Slug, is just a fun game. Endless Quarters. Let's see, jump down to the second old school folder. Got your Duke Nukem in the background with his ladies. A lot of games on here. This is just another. Do I have a duplicate? Oh, I thought I did for a second. I thought Skyforce and this one, which I can't. I'm not gonna even try. SteamWorld Dig was what I was gonna say. Got Amen, and then here's Duke Nukem 3D, Megaton Edition. Some of these are ports. Oh, I didn't mention the Legend of Zelda game here, which probably should be up with the RPGs, but I put it in with old school just because this is actually a Super Nintendo port of a ROM hack ported to the Vita. It's weird, interesting. Why not put it on there, right? All right. 1001 Spikes on. Here we come down to some racing / Mario Kart fighting games. So Cell Damage and Sonic Racing Transformed. Then Ridge Racer, Wipeout EX, and Need for Speed, Most Wanted, Asphalt Injection, all really cool games. And then we're down to back to the arcade. This is where you're going to find your arcade and retro console emulation over here on Retroarch. And then over here is Adrenaline, which is the PSP custom firmware, which basically transforms your PlayStation TV into a PSP. All right, so that is all the content, but telling you about the games and showing you everything that it has is one thing, but obviously I'm sure you want to see some gameplay. I'm excited to show you some two-player stuff in arcade emulation. So basically what you're going to see here is I'm going to boot up some games. We're going to start in Retroarch, and then I'll go ahead and cut together some footage where you can just get a good sampling of everything my PlayStation Vita / TV build has to offer. So let's hold on here, and we will get started in just a moment. All right, here we go. Booted into Retroarch. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn on the second controller. And there you go. Second controller recognized. So you see we've got both controllers working here. And I am going to move it on over to... Well, first I guess I'll show you all the games that are available here in Retroarch. So you've got your recently played games here in the little favorites list. That makes things a little easier. And then we've got systems like the Atari 2600, 7800. We've got the Atari Lynx, Final Burn Alpha Arcade, which is like Neo Geo. And the game support, as you can see here, as I scroll through this list, is just insane for a lot of the arcade emulation. Obviously, you're getting the same game sets and stuff that you did on the PSP, but with Retroarch, you get so much more and such better arcade emulation support. As we scroll through the games list here, you get to see like everything. With MAME 2000, this is more of your classic stuff like Pac-Man's on here, Burger Time's on here, but then you also find games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, MAME 2003. These games don't always work so well, so I don't know. I'm considering taking them off the list. It's only a handful, and there's multiple versions of Pac-Land here. It's just how the list populated. So I might clean that up. Here's the Intellivision. My first game console had to be on here just for respect. Much respect, Intellivision. Much respect. TurboGrafx 16, otherwise known as the PC Engine. Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Nintendo Game Boy, entertainment system, the 8-bit original, the toaster. We've got the Super Nintendo, then we also got the Virtual Boy. Virtual Boy emulation is okay. It's much better than it was on the PSP. It was almost non-existent. It's fun to kind of try to play some of the games, but you really do need to pick through and find something that's tolerable. Sega 32X, that's something that doesn't play on the PSP. We've got the Game Gear, we've got the Mega Drive, and we've got some Sega CD. I don't know. I'm going to have to add some different games on here, or I might take Sega CD out altogether. These games aren't currently booting, but I don't know. Given the amount of space that Sega CD games take up versus the benefits that you get from PS1 games and Vita games, I might take these out just to free up some space and add a couple of more games. But the everything else is going to stay. So, all right. Let's go ahead over to here and play some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the 2-player version, so that I can show you 2 controllers working at the same time while I awkwardly try to play Ninja Turtles. 2 controllers. Real arcade emulation, so we'll have to wait for a minute for the arcade to boot up, but you guys are probably used to that. Here we go. All right, there's one player. Turtle power? Alright. Oh god. Alright. Leave him alone. Leave me alone. Oh my god, I'm so worried about my buddy over here. Okay. Both turtles walking around. If I can show you this. Both controllers working. Turtles acting like idiots. Alright, I'll play with Donatello a little bit. Shell shocked him. There we go. Fuck him up! Actually, I should probably let him get killed. No, I can't. Oh, I was going to say Michelangelo's my favorite. But it's alright. I can give Donnie some love here. Yeah, take that, bitch. Oh! A little bit more. Come on. God, I'm getting my ass handed to me. Alright, fine. You want to quit a game? Oh, I have to do that with the first controller. Leave me alone. I'm leaving. I'm going home. I hate your game. The controllers are broken. What's wrong with you? I'm telling Mom. you can go over here to close content. And it's like it never happened, except it's currently uploaded on YouTube for everyone to see. Anyways, okay, so that's the gist with Retroarch. Whether it comes to MAME arcade play or playing Super Mario Brothers and you give your friend the finger and say, fuck you, you're Luigi, you can do it with 2 players. So you're all set up to do that. And I haven't tested out 4 controllers, but if somebody's tried like Super Spike Volleyball with like a NES satellite setup, I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't work over here on Retroarch. Now, it is possible to add game art to these menus, and I did mess around with that. Unfortunately, loading up the games started to it was a little bit of lag. Every single game it loaded the picture. Every single game it loaded the picture. And if you were to scroll through, you could really cause a lot of lag because it tries to load every single one. So although it looked cool as far as functionality goes, it wasn't very good. I even dropped the resolution down on the pictures really, really low. And it just screws up. So, all right, let's jump out of here and go to some just other. Actually, I think I should show you. What was I going to show you? Oh, PSP emulation, and it's actually not emulation; it's just running the custom firmware. So I'll show you that, and move on to the next thing. All right. All right, here we go into PSP with Adrenaline. And here we go, booted up, just like the Vita didn't exist and we're playing on a PSP. Takes you right to the game folder. And here's the setup. I went with just a nice selection of games. I really did try to focus on the Vita side. 200 gigs goes a long way, but you don't want to bog it down with some bullcrap that you don't need. So we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, Tomb Raider, Tekken 3, Siphon Filter, Spyro, Resident Evil 2, Ready to Rumble, R-Type Delta, Quake 2, Parappa the Rapper. These are PS1 games I felt needed to be on here. Love Nightmare Creatures. Why not some NBA Extreme? Mega Man X4, of course. King of Fighters. Obviously, got to have some cool fighting games on there. Gex. Earthworm Jim 2. Crash Bandicoot. Castlevania. Contra. Mega Man. Going through the whole list. Uncategorized. It's actually PSP games. Bomberman. Combat Ops, Exit, really fun game. 1945. Metal Slug. Sega Rally. Need for Speed Underground. Sonic Rivals. Metal Gear. Guilty Gear. GTA, Vice City, my favorite GTA game. Grand Theft Auto. Oh yeah. Feel some love for the Ghostbusters. They've taken a couple of hits here recently. I personally, I just like Ghostbusters. No matter what's between your legs. Are you busting ghosts? Then, yes, please. Custom menu created by me. Into something strange. And copyright flag. Gotta keep moving. Darkstalkers. Great fighting game. Crazy Taxi. I don't even need to say anything. You know it's good. Crash Bandicooty. Brave Story. New Traveler. And then, of course, my staple, Pac-Man Championship Edition. Because you know I love my ass. Some Pac-Man champ, not my ass. I don't love my ass. I love myself. It's a good game. Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I didn't mean to push that button. And there we go. Okay. It's like I didn't push it. You didn't have to wait. Old school hacks are on here. If you're not familiar, these are ROM hacks. It's like playing a new game. With a PS3 controller, haha. Oh yeah. Get down to some Sonic Megamix. Awesome soundtrack. And if you're a fan of this channel, then you know how much I love Sonic Megamix. It is the most fun ROM hack of Sonic the Hedgehog I have ever played. And you can't count Sonic Mania. That's a real fucking game. Yeah. All right. So check that out. That's why I took my time to make this sweet-ass menu just for Sonic Mania.
Let's go racing,
Super Nintendo hacks, your Mega Man cool stuff. Ghostbusters! Did my Nintendo just talk? No, it didn't. That was gibberish. Are playing with power. Mike Tyson, you can play Punch Out against him. Just hopefully he doesn't get mad and try to take your pants off. Anyways, now old school. I kept a couple of these on here for fun. They're reading the games. Oh shit, yeah! Got a Wonder Swan. I want a Wonder Swan. Give me it. Won't you please give me that Wonder Swan, Wonder Swan? Please don't play him, please don't play him, please don't touch on my Dragon Balls, balls. Bandai Wonder Swan, not a great handheld, but a rockin' ass song I threw in there. Hell yeah. You get Dragon Balls on. These are all those same systems.
If you were colorblind and had an IQ less than 12, then you wouldn't care which portable you had. Of course, you wouldn't care if you drank from the toilet either.
Mattel Electronics presents.
So these, if you are new to the channel, these are all menus and stuff that I've created for emulation on the PSP. So you would see all systems represented here if we were just checking this out on a PSP. But because we're on the Vita, I kind of really thought about space management to get the most out of 200 gigs. 200 gigs is a lot, but done improperly, you've got a bunch of stuff that you might not play. So, but if you're curious about my PSP videos, you just head over to my channel. I'm not going to put links in there. You guys know what you're doing. And you'll see some of my PSP videos. The latest one was Final Fantasy, and I've got some new stuff on the way. So still not stopping with that.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Very cool. Okay, well, we can't spend all our time here. So let's jump out. And now what I'm going to do is show you some other games playing on the PlayStation Vita. And basically you can, take a look at everything. And I'm going to edit that footage together. Thanks for sticking around if you're still here. If you just want to see some gameplay and see what stuff looks like on the system, that's what the rest of the video is going to be for. So if you like this, if you like what you see in the PlayStation TV, if you're curious or you want one, or if you have questions for me, shoot me an email at, actually my computer's down, so I don't know if the graphics are working. I don't know if I can do graphics right now. Anyways, here's I'm just gonna keep fucking snapping. TimothyTimPC at yahoo.com. Or if email seems like played out, man, you can catch me on Facebook. Just head over to my Facebook page, TimothyTim PSP on Facebook. We've got a community of a couple hundred people there, nothing too crazy. And I post updates on different custom PSPs I'm working on. Now PlayStation Vitas and TVs that I'm working on. I'm going to be branching off into some other systems, but I take my time when it comes to stuff like this because I want it to be done properly. So if you're curious, you have more questions, if you have a console, you want to trade it in, or you're curious about some questions of getting some work done on that, just let me know. Find me on the Facebook page. Send me a message. We can chat about games or just talk about what all of this stuff entails. So let's do some gameplay, and thanks for checking out the video. I might pop in and say something here or there, but the rest of the video is just going to be gameplay. All right, thanks for sticking around, guys. And yeah, I finally did it. Let me know what you think about my PlayStation TV build. I really appreciate it. A lot of you guys have been subscribing to the channel. Can you believe it? We're almost at 4,000 subs. We're at like 3,500 right now, which is a pretty big fucking deal for me. So thanks to everybody. If you've been on my watching my videos from the beginning, please let me know. I really appreciate all the comments. I don't even mind the negative ones. Go ahead and give me the finger if you want. YouTube just counts that as interaction, and they share my videos to more people. So thank you for being a dick. So sweet of you. All right, so let's jump into some more gameplay, and I think I'm going to start with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. So something you can do with your PS4 and you can do with the Vita is like that kind of remote play feature. You can also do that with a PlayStation TV. Like I said, the PlayStation TV is just a PlayStation Vita in this little HDMI box. So I've included a really cool, is it here? No, okay. Now normally you would do that through PS4 Link. And what I have is another program here called Relink. And what's great about that is you can spoof the name of your PSN account on this console. And so you can go ahead and put in your PSN username, and then it will link up with your PS4. You can change that to whatever you want. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Pretty cool. And also with and Kaku were doing version spoofing, so you're not going to encounter any games that like want you to update the system. However, if any games ask you to connect to the internet, yeah, probably don't do that.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Cross Tekken. Oh, downloadable content. Let's do a quick versus game here.
Ken. Bad Gear Hideout. You can't lose here.
Oh. I'm going to turn off touch controls real quick here. That's better. Oh, you fucker.
Blue team wins.
Let's go one more time.
Out on top.
Gotcha. Get him. Yeah! Woo! That was badass.
Blue team wins.
Blue team wins, bitch. All right. Let's move on to something else. Oops.
Hey, Bentley, I think I'm seeing things. Must be vertigo or something. Can you see those crazy blue lights?
Really? I've read about this. Master raccoon thieves are able to sense thieving opportunities, which manifest themselves as unexplainable blue auras. According to my research, all you have to do is get near them and hold down the circle button, and you should perform a super sneaky master thief move.
Hold down the circle button near blue auras. I'm on it.
How does he know about the fucking circle button? That's not super sneaky. Solid Snake does this. I get what they're trying to do here, though. Oh, fuck. Alright, you don't want to watch me climb all the way back up there, so, right. Shit. You motherfucker. This game actually uses tilt, which makes it more fun. Well, I don't know. I think the game's just as fun without tilt enabled. And this is a good example. So as you can see, there is no problem playing this game without touch or tilt controls.
Sonic and All-Stars Racing transform. Select a mode. Career. Select a career mode. World Tour. Select a tour. Sunshine Coast. Select an event. Race. B-Class. Character select.
Oh, are you kidding? Of course I'm going with Sonic.
Sonic. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Son of a... Ah, goddamn. Racing transformed. All right, now here's an example of a game where touch controls, you need to use them, but barely. So here it says touch screen to start. Well, you can push the start button, right? But you can't push the start button to get past here. Hold on the PlayStation button on your controller, go down to touch controls, and then all you do is click in one of the analog sticks, and then we can come over here and do that. And then we can feel free to turn the touch controls off now. Sometimes I accidentally click them. Oh, jeez, what am I doing over here? So you get the gist of it there. It's like a Tetris style game, and it's very fun, and the music is really rocking once the game gets going. If you haven't played it, definitely check it out. Here's a little gameplay from Resident Evil Revelations. This is me starting a new game, so unfortunately you don't start out, with a weapon, but you get to see some gameplay nonetheless.
Is that Moira? Oh my God, Moira! Don't worry. I'm gonna get you out of there right now. Moira, are you okay? Did they hurt you? Claire. Oh, I mean, what in a hospital of Oh, Claire, I just want to go home. It's okay. We're gonna get out of here. None of this makes any sense. What did we do? I wish I could tell you. It's so messed up. What do you think this was? Did you hear that? Is there someone else in here?
And I hate not having a weapon. Okay, well, you get the gist of it. The game's really fun. I'm just got to do this boring beginning of the game, not fun. Yeah, what the fuck? God, I love how video games swear now. You never heard Mario saying stuff like fuck and shit.
On the other side of the glass.
You think there's a way through? All right, well, let's get to the other side of the fucking glass, ladies. Ah, horse shit. All right, let's move on to something else. Touch to start. We know how to get rid of around that. See, you get a gun right away in Uncharted.
sewage tanks.
Come on. There you go.
I got him! You're a dead man! See how you like this?
Oh, shit.
Joker. Hello! Okay, here we go.
Walk short distances without dying will be Handsome Jack's downfall. And open! Just a little added security. Gotta keep those bully mongs at bay, or they'll rip your eyes out. Sorry about the mess. Everything Jack kills, he dumps here. Bandits, vault hunters, claptrap units. If I sound pleased about this, it's only because my programmers made this my default tone of voice. I'm actually quite depressed. Now, the creatures around here are dangerous. None more than this bully mong named Knuckle Dragger. Killed everyone I know. Anywho, I keep a pistol in the cabinet over there for emergencies. But in here, we should be pretty safe. Yo! Wah! Fire! The gun in the cabinet. Ooh!
All right, guys, that pretty much does it. There's so much content to cover. I could literally sit here forever, but unfortunately, I don't have time to sit here forever and play. Got to get my kid from home from school soon. So, like I said, shoot me an email, TimothyTimPC@yahoo.com, or check me out on the Facebook page, Thanks again for checking out the video. I have a 256 gig PlayStation Vita that is on its way, and I'll be making a video for that, and it'll have even more content than this PlayStation TV does. Guys, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you next time. Until then, game on!
Game on!
Yeah, game on!